Welcome back to the Taiken Ramen channel. Today we're covering Shio, or salt-based ramen. We're gonna make this out of chicken, pork, and duck, which is gonna be a delicious triple soup. We'll be going over aromatics and what to do with all this gorgeous oil you're gonna render out. But if you live in America like me, you might find that duck is a hard ingredient to come by, which means we're gonna have to go Thanos on this one.
Fine. I'll do it myself.
You may remember my buddy Charlie from the miso tare taste test video. He's actually a pretty big hunter, so he took me out duck hunting and he helped me to procure a duck for the soup. Here I'm plucking all of the feathers to get the bird ready to cook. And if you're ever cooking with wild ingredients like this, I would recommend brining in salt water overnight. Anytime you have meat that might be a little gamey or just too earthy, a saltwater brine can really bring the flavor back into a palatable range. Alright, onto the pressure cooker. We're gonna add our duck into the pressure cooker, cover in water, and then seal and cook for 1 hour. After 1 hour, we're going to uncover and skim as much fat and scum off the top as we possibly can, then recover and cook for 1 more hour. At the conclusion of that second hour, this broth is done, so we're going to strain it over a metal sieve as well as a cheesecloth. The cheesecloth is nice because it's going to catch a lot of tiny particles, but it also might catch some fat, so that's why we skimmed the fat after the first hour of cooking. Once we've got that all strained out, we'll take this broth and fridge it overnight. I'm going to repeat the process line by line, once with chicken wings and pork trotters, and once with a whole chicken carcass. This is going to give us 2 pretty distinct broths. The chicken wings and pork trotters are going to yield a lot of collagen, which is going to give what we call a mouthfeel to the soup, whereas the whole chicken carcass is going to be a much lighter and more refreshing broth. And with all the skin on the chicken carcass, we're going to yield a lot of oil that will later be used as aroma oil. A final difference is that the chicken wings and pork trotters are going to yield a more pale or translucent soup, whereas the chicken carcass is going to give us a bright yellow soup. I've seen some pretty light Shio ramen. Some of these ramens look just like salt water, so I do like the yellow color that comes from the chicken broth. But overall I was pretty pleased with the color and the combination of the duck, chicken, and pork working together. And real quick, I want to talk about the oil. This is all of the fat that we yielded out of the pressure cooker, and this is going to go directly in the bowl as our aroma oil. When we were skimming it out of the pressure cooker, we also caught some scum. So before we serve it, we are going to strain it to make sure it's extremely clean. Something that I found really interesting was the fat from the duck, the chicken, and the pork actually had different colors to them. And you can see the difference here once it all cooled down in the fridge. Alright, next up we're going to add some aromatics to the mix. First, add your bright chicken stock, your rich and earthy duck stock, and your nice full-bodied chicken and pork stock to a pot and bring to a low simmer. While that's heating up, you're going to need an apple, 2 white onions, 1 leek, a head of garlic, and some ginger. We're going to wash and rough chop these ingredients, and then we'll add them to our simmering soup. They're going to hang out in this soup for 1 hour. And after an hour, we'll strain this through a cheesecloth, and our soup is complete. We've made tares in the past on this channel, but for a Shio soup, the beauty of it is, all you really need to do is salt until it tastes good. When you start your bowls, add some of that duck, chicken, and pork fat into the bottom, and then add in your soup and salt to taste. The cool thing about a translucent soup like this is it can stand alone with noodles and look really stunning and elegant, or it plays nice with any combination of ingredients. So feel free to dress these bowls up as much as you like. Thanks for joining me today for another video. It was a pleasure having you, and you can look forward to a Shio tare video coming up next. Please consider subscribing for more.